start with the bottom and work our way to the top, and I'll do some measurements for you. But this piece of wood I cut at 8 feet. Okay, so you have 4 legs of 8 feet, and it's 2 by 6. The posts are 4 by 4s, and they're also 8 feet in length. And what I did on the bottom, and I think you can see this here, is I put 1 by spacers. And there's a specific reason why I did that. And that's to accommodate these braces. And so when I put these up, I'll show you why I did that with the brackets. And these right here are cut at 45-degree angles. Okay. And the top part, before I cut them at an angle, 4 feet. So pretty easy measurements so far. I drilled holes here at the footer in the middle of this board at 25 inches from the edge. And in the middle of the board I 1.5 and 4 inches on center. Now what I did, sort of by mistake, was I drilled the hole the exact same size as the carriage hole. And well, 1/8 or 1/4 inch more and do it, otherwise you'll be hammering the bolts, and you don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how these were broken down and how they can how this system can be put up pretty quickly. Right here I have a brace. Okay. And I have another brace here. I'm not going to hold up. Okay. And here is the 1 by spacers. I made them just about 5.5, 6 inches long here. That's all you really need. You really need it just as tall as the 1 by here. 2 by, I'm sorry. Right. And these are 1 bys. These are 1 by 6s. Alright, let me put the post up. Okay, I had to move some things around, make sure I had the right side of the bolts pre-positioned. But the longest ones here, these 10-inch ones, they're going to go on the bottom because you have the 2 bys, you have the 1 by spacer, the 4-inch post, another spacer, and another 2 by. So obviously that's going to take the longest of the bolts here. And what I did before I disassembled this was I labeled each of the parts with letters. I put an A on here, I put an A on this side of the post, I put a B on this side of the post, and I put a B on this side, on this particular leg of the gantry. And I did the same, I did C, C, and D. I didn't drill the holes perfectly straight, so because of that, you're going to have differences of where they line up when you put it together again. So, to make things easier, just label all your parts like you would an IKEA piece. What I'm going to do below this video is I'm going to go ahead and give you a parts list and a cut list of what pieces you need. But hopefully you'll get an idea as we go along. These are the shorter bolts. These are the 8-inch bolts that just needs to go through 2 1/9 and a 4-inch. So, and in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and tighten these all up and get back to you, and we'll do the other side. Okay, with the tools and hardware I already have in place, I'm going to go ahead and put this other side together from start to finish. Maybe I'll do some fast motion. There we go. Before I even lift it up, I have this label. So C and D. So I should have C on the face of the post and D on the face of that post. But I can already see that that's not happening. The D is on here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over 180. Lift it up. And the holes should line a lot better. Okay, so something happened when I put this top bolt in. The battery went out on the camera, and also my phone. So what I'm going to do is just do a summary of what I covered when I thought I was recording still. And that is the importance of having the bolts face this way, because when you are working on lowering or raising an engine and you have all the wires and the coolant tubes and all the soft pieces that are installed on the engine, you don't want them snagged or in the way of these bolts. And they're pretty long bolts. I bet you could probably get away with 6-inch bolts instead of the 8-inch bolts that I have here. But I only bought what I could get at the store. So, and it's better to over-engineer. And the size of the bolts, if I didn't have it covered already, the size of the bolts are all 3/4 inch bolts on the heads. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nuts and bolts on each of these gantry ends. And so that's 10. And so that's 20 washers. And what you use on the top is totally up to you. You also want to over-engineer that. I use this to lift a marine engine. Marine engines are typically heavier than automotive engines, simply because they have different metals, a lot of iron on those engine blocks, and they also have the iron manifolds that make them a lot heavier on marine engines than automotive engines in one piece. And the cooling systems installed on the engine is also adds weight. And it was a V8 engine that I used this for. So a pretty heavy engine that if you want to go ahead and add more stability for this in the front, you could probably cut a piece of the post from the top and just enough to be in between these two 2x6s, and you will just need a 5-inch length, 5-inch length post, and then you would put the bolts that are long enough in here, and put them on all the ends. So you would cut 4 of them, and that's probably what I would suggest as an improvement upon the design that I have now. I have the additional holes here drilled for the more 2x6s that I used. I don't have them correctly spaced here, but basically you set them up like that. You set up a chain winch. I borrowed a chain winch, and that's what you do. That's what you use for hauling up and lowering engines, and it's as easy as that. And again, I'll put down the cut list, and I'll put down the materials list down for you, down at the bottom. But I hope this helped a lot, and you're not going to see this again. I'm going to chop it up, and we're going to do some more videos of how to make a workbench. Thanks for watching.